Johnny Depp's ex-wife Amber Heard is hiding a deep and dark family secret. Her father ran an illegal dogfighting ring that led to his incarceration. Heard's dad jailed, and Heard accidentally reveals it. LOL. That's the revelation from Paul Barresi, who was once hired by Heard's legal team to find evidence against Depp, the star who played Captain Jack Sparrow in the Disney series Pirates of the Caribbean. Instead of finding people who had been verbally or physically abused by Depp, as Heard has claimed, the real-life Ray Donovan uncovered a previously not known sickening past. Barresi, a Hollywood fixer, uncovered that the father of Heard, a self-proclaimed animal lover, was once arrested, convicted, and served jail time for animal cruelty by orchestrating a cruel, heartless, torturous pit bull ring in Texas in the 1980s. Radar has obtained criminal court filings from Midland County, Texas that reveal David Clinton Heard, who Amber has described as having struggled with alcohol and drug abuse issues his whole life, ran an unspeakable animal abuse ring involving no less than 7 pit bulls on his property of 10 acres of land. Law enforcement also found narcotics and professional poker equipment on the property. David pleaded guilty and was jailed briefly, 15 days, getting off relatively scot-free on the charge of cruelty to animals by pleading nolo contendere. This is a plea that is a lot like a guilty plea. It carries the same fundamental consequences but is not the official admission of guilt. Ironically, it was Depp who was portrayed to be an animal abuser in his scandalous High Court of London legal battle against the Sun newspaper that labeled him a wife-beater in an article published in April of 2018. The 58-year-old Hollywood actor sued News Group Newspapers, the publisher of The Sun, over the accusation that he was violent towards Heard, but the newspaper maintained its article was accurate. In a swath of damaging evidence, from claims of defecating in bed, writing on a mirror in blood, and sordid revelations of drug and alcohol abuse, one of the more disturbing allegations was that Depp dangled a dog out of a moving car. The court heard Depp was traveling in a car with Heard and her Yorkshire Terrier, Pistol, as well as her sister, his assistant Holmes, and a driver when he allegedly dangled the dog out of the window. When you were in the car, you were smoking and you opened the window and you were angry and you were aggressive, the Sun's lawyer, Sasha Wass QC, put it to Depp on the witness stand, who replied saying he was not in that mode at all. He was then accused of holding Pistol out of the car and making howling noises. Depp described this claim as an absolute utter falsity and fraudulent, and added, "I don't think hanging an animal, a small defenseless dog that weighs 3 pounds out of a window is fun." The actor was also asked if he had laughed at a suggestion of putting the pet in a microwave. He responded by saying that it was a running joke between himself, Heard, and others. "I wouldn't say that I was the inventor of that particular joke, and also I wasn't the one who brought anything like that up," he told the court. Depp has also admitted to the dog once getting hold of a little ball of hashish. As the BBC reported, the star's libel claim was dismissed by Justice Nicole, who found the Sun's accusation to be substantially true, and ruled in the publisher's favor. The judge found Depp had assaulted Heard on a dozen occasions, and put her in fear for her life 3 times. In America, it is more difficult to seize on prior unspeakable instances in accordance with unspeakable behaviors as it prejudices the judge or jury and can offer grounds for an appeal, Barresi told Radar. But in this high court case, not so. The judge allowed the evidence of the pistol incident to be heard. As someone whom had worked on this case, when the Sun's lawyer successfully branded Johnny as a dog abuser, the first thing that went through my mind was, how much times have changed and society's attitudes towards animal abuse? What if the judge was a dog lover? I questioned. I had previously read that Amber's father was an abusive alcoholic. Through my years of working in Hollywood, I know women often enter into relationships with men who are like their father. In a sudden desire to look into her father's background that wasn't planned, on a whim and entirely on my own volition, I dove into the state of Texas's archived court catacombs and unearthed the shocking documents and proof about Amber's dad. I found, however, that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I can't help but ask whether Amber and members of her family knew that her father was the ringleader of barbaric dogfights that rendered pit bulls maimed or dead. Depp is still fighting Heard in a separate libel battle in the Virginia case over a 2018 Washington Post opinion piece in which she claimed to be a victim of domestic abuse, but did not mention the actor by name, the $50 million defamation case has been delayed until April 2022. Amber Heard is already dealing with controversy about her brief marriage to Depp, that by all accounts was highly dysfunctional. Now, as Depp's libel suit heats up, her other relationships are under scrutiny too. Although she rarely discusses her family, it was recently reported that her father, David Clinton Heard, ran an illegal dogfighting ring that led to his incarceration. Johnny Depp's ex-wife has made headlines in the last few years for her very public divorce from her husband and her allegations of domestic violence against the Pirates of the Caribbean actor. The accusations have led to a host of lawsuits being fought between the pair, but news about David Heard's dark and criminal past has come as a surprise. Information about Amber's father was uncovered by Paul Barresi, who was once hired by Heard's legal team to find evidence against Depp. During Depp's libel case against The Sun, the Aquaman actress had testified that Depp was far worse than her abusive dad when Depp went on an alcohol binge. She had also accused Depp of going on a 36-hour cocaine and alcohol binge after he suspected her of cheating on him with her ex. Amber added during her testimony that while her father was also abusive towards her mom, his actions didn't come close to Depp's abuse. "My father was violent to my mother and they really loved each other. He makes my dad look like a saint when he falls off the wagon. My dad struggled with alcohol abuse issues his whole life. He's an addict and he was very violent, but I love him very much," she said. David Kilacki, who owns auto repair shop Performance Allison Transmissions and once did work on the couple's classic cars, told Ace Showbiz in 2019 that Amber's father once made death threats towards his former son-in-law. He claimed to have received many text messages and phone calls from Amber's father, Mr. David Heard, and after the separation of Amber and Mr. Depp, Mr. Heard became very bitter towards Mr. Depp.